Hi Cancer, how you guys doing? I hope you're holding up okay. This crazy, and I know you're all feeling it. I know. I know so many Cancers. I'm a Cancer rising. My gosh, the day of the lunar eclipse, I don't even want to tell you. It was just nuts. It's a tough time, people, so let's get right into this. We're going to be doing a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for July 8th through the 16th. I'm dropping it over that one day beyond the week period just because we have that lunar eclipse in Capricorn, so we might as well address that while we're here and just talking about all the fun. So let's get a crowning energy from the astrology. Lunar eclipse change. Really? That's so crazy. Okay, beautiful. Yep. You know what? Let's talk about that first before we even go into anything, because that's pretty profound, the fact that we're having this during this period. So, you know, eclipses can bring on times which seem very shadowy and disordered, but not necessarily bad, and really shouldn't be viewed like that. And we've talked a lot about the eclipses, right? We just had the solar eclipse, and we're going to be having this lunar eclipse in Capricorn coming up. But when the lunar eclipse card presents itself in a reading, dramatic changes are in store. You know, some changes will likely be unexpected ones, the kind that might seem hard or will take some special effort on your part, but these will not be gradual, easy, or barely noticeable transformations, right? You're going to feel like a little rock and roll, you know, almost like, and I've been saying, it's almost like a revolution. And that's not to sound dramatic, but truly, those of you feeling it understand that this is hitting your most profound houses. I mean, relationship and career. It's, you know, it's pretty big. Those are two pretty important fundamentals in life, right? So don't be alarmed though, because you really want to stay open in your energy for sure. So this is the kind of thing where to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And everything that's going to happen is really for your higher good. And just remember, like, if everything was comfortable and calm and quiet all the time, we would never be motivated to change. That's just the way humans are, right? When you're really cozy in something, why change? Why do that? Most of us would not do that. So any number of things might happen, the ending or beginning of a transformative relationship. This could be a change in your life path or a job or a change in where you live. But whatever it is, it's gonna be pretty abrupt. Now, I feel like most of you know where the changes are going to happen. However, it's still the way it's going to happen is going to be very abrupt and feel very uncomfortable, even if you pretty much know what's going to be transformed at this time. Just the reality of it hitting your life can be quite uncomfortable. But this is about, you know, you developing a new way of looking at things, you know, for sure. And whatever the issue is, again, it's been brewing for a while and things are just about to bubble over and you feel it. I just feel like, so it could be a partner or would-be partner who wishes to take a relationship to a new level. That would be a really, you know, really good thing. You know, since the moon symbolizes our emotions, you've probably already sensed what's changing. You know, I feel like. So you're not going to be completely surprised by it. But again, the force and that dramatic nature and that shift, the way it's happening is going to feel unexpected. So just know you're going to feel a little off balance, thrown off balance. And if the situation is something that you've taken for granted, Cancer, and it collapses, then you're going to need to make a new start. You know, I know it's hard, but regardless, you know, you should start to see these effects within the next 6 weeks and expect for an outcome to be completed within 6 months. Yeah, this is all about cycles, you know, cycles. And I know people do get confused. I get a number of messages when I say where this is about a cycle and something leaving, but then something taking its place that's even better. And, you know, what does that mean? So it can be, you know, a very basic example could basically be a relationship, right? That's maybe very unhealthy or one that just no longer really serves you anymore. You know, it's just not for your higher good. And it means, you know, one getting eclipsed out, but then something so much more wonderful coming in its place. So, really do know that that's just the way these energies work, because something leaves and something has to come back in and take its place. So let's pull another crowning energy for you for Wisdom of the Oracle. Okay, so now we're going to pull an Oracle, and we have fork in the road. Okay, all right, that makes sense to me. So you guys are just really unclear about where exactly, which direction exactly you want to go in. And the thing is here, I feel like you're very clear on your choices, but you're not clear on what choice to make. And you're still looking at the past. You're still looking behind. You have 2 arrows looking behind you here. 2. One to the future, and these other 2 are like all wonky. So you're not really quite clear where you're standing in the moment. And that's okay. You know, your job here with this fork in the road energy is just stay open. Just stay open, because life is going to tell you exactly where you need to go, okay? I promise you that. So you don't want to try to micromanage anything, okay? Now, before we get into the aspects dealing from July 8th through the 16th, I do just want to remind you guys that on July 1st, and this aspect goes through August 18th, we have this Mars in Leo. And this returns to your second house of stability for the first time in 2 years. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. So turning your focus to your security needs right now, all the way through the middle of August, you guys are going to be feeling it. So regardless of your current relationship status, sometime in the next 6 weeks, you're probably going to be thinking about what you really want for the long haul, like the longer term, from a partner. Starting with, you know, do you even want one? You know, and for the attached Cancers, it's going to become increasingly important to know where you stand and where things are headed and when. Like, when is everything going to happen, right? If somebody's been promising a commitment, when is it going to happen, you know? And then we also have from July 3rd, this aspect goes until July 27th, we have Venus in Cancer. So, you know, no more hitting the snooze button on love, Cancer. You know, we really need to figure this stuff out. You know, what's happening really in relationships. This is a very transformative time, and you need to understand where you want to go in that sector so that you keep yourself open and invite the energies in that you really want, okay? So now going back to the week that we're covering, July 8th, we have Mercury in Leo conjunct Mars in Leo. This is all about talkative Mercury and bold Mars unite with Cancer, giving a triple dose of assertiveness. So we have Mercury retrograde, so keep that in mind, right? That hit on the 7th. You could come on too strong or just have your words misinterpreted on this day. And this can be because you're just very overwhelmed and overburdened right now. Yeah, because we also have this Cancer square Chiron in Aries, Venus in Cancer sextile Uranus and Taurus. There's a lot going on here, right? So that means challenges in love and self-esteem and money, you know, issues, okay? But hopefully there can be some resolve felt in the trine, but you're going to feel conflicting energies. And the conflicting energies, honestly, it could be one of a number of ways. It could be you fighting with yourself. It could be you fighting with yourself and someone external from you, or it could just be you arguing with somebody, just being in a state of conflict. And these are the first 2 cards we pulled for this day. So that makes sense, right? We have the 10 of Wands energy reverse, which indicates you're just carrying way too much on your shoulders right now, Cancer. You know, responding to a wide range of demands externally while also carrying issues from the past. Yeah, I know it's so hard for you to delegate. I know, I'm with you on that. But you are going to need to delegate something, and you need support from others. But in the reverse, this tells me that the burdens that you're feeling are actually more perceived than real. And this is what happens when we have ongoing stress. And Cancer, you have had ongoing stress where all of a sudden every small thing, every small problem is framed as a potential issue. Don't beat yourself up about it. Be forgiving of yourself, because this is a very hard energy to navigate. It really is. Try lightening up a little bit. Take some of the pressure off yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect, because being obstinate is indicated with this energy too. So you have to ask yourself if you've created too much self-pressure, you know, fixating on maybe on an impossible goal. But regardless, this shows you being caught in an exhausting grind between work and domestic commitments and just people needing, and you're just trying to keep everybody happy, but you really need to make a vow here to make some space for your own needs, Cancer. Because when you can do this, then you're going to be able to see ahead so much more clearly, you know? Yeah, and this energy is going to be exacerbated by this King of Wands energy, you know, in this week. This is Scorpio and Sag energy, and in general, this indicates miscommunication, which is not uncommon during the Mercury retrograde. This also indicates some delays and deferred decisions, and you might feel very frustrated right now as what you perceive to be a lack of progress. So I feel like the lack of movement here is adding even more stress onto you, you know? But this is temporary and it'll pass. So hold fast to your plans and your self-belief. You know, many of you, I'm also feeling, because we have this reverse will, right? Because wands are will. Someone who's really egotistical, someone who thrives on status but is generally unwilling to do the hard work to deserve it. But regardless, this individual likes to take credit for things that they don't even do. And since they're very attention-seeking, this person does typically work out of self-interest. Little narcissistic vibe going on here. And this is an energy that you're going to have to deal with on this day, for sure. Not comfortable. But really make sure that you try your very best to take a little bit of time out for yourself, okay? Now let's go on to July 9th. We have Sun in Cancer opposing Saturn in Capricorn, which makes you feel like your inner and outer worlds are going to be at odds with each other. And we also have the Sun-Saturn opposition. Okay, we got the full reverse. And with the Sun in your sign, you're going to be self-directed and clear on your goal, but striking the right balance with your partner might prove to be pretty elusive under this once-a-year face-off. So ignoring the situation, sadly, will not make it go away. So get ahead of whatever problem you're in by initiating a direct conversation about individual needs and boundaries. Boundaries. We got the Justice card. Yes, yes. Okay. So let's talk about these energies we have here for the night. Okay, so we have the full reverse, which is a Uranus energy. Okay, and you know, this is all about asking if what you want or what you're proposing or a situation that's been offered to you is maybe just a leap too far. This reverse energy brings out your irresponsible side, you know, as your mouth works ahead of your brain without thinking through the downsides. But again, I feel like you just have so much on your shoulders. You're just not thinking clearly. Now, I do have to say, this can be you. It can be someone close to you, okay, acting in this way. But this is about moving ahead in something without awareness in a way that can potentially sabotage your chances of something being successful due to a feeling of desperation and irrationality. So think carefully before agreeing to anything new right now, okay? And then we have the Justice card as the clarifier, which is great because this tells me that if you're careful about things in this full reverse, things are ultimately going to go in your favor. This is a High Priestess energy, is connected to Libra, and it's all about balance. So very welcomed energy if life has felt chaotic for you, and I know life has. Because I don't know of one Cancer who has not been feeling this crazy storm lately, right? But this is a card of empowerment, advising you to take a left brain approach to take control. Influential people favor you right now. Projects, you're really trying to move forward and get support. Listen to advice from people around you who you respect, not the ones you don't respect. But this is all about past issues and errors and imbalances being redressed and you benefiting from them. As long as you're being honest and accountable and you're not doing any deflection, things are going to end up going in your way. And remember though, you can't hide from that, right? If you're telling yourself a story that's just not true, because karma knows the truth. So just be as honest as you can, right? You can't hide from karma in the Justice card. You know, that's the thing. But very important for you to take care of your emotional needs in your relationships right now, Cancer, for sure. Because balance is going to follow that. You need to take care of your needs also. Very important for you right now, okay? And then July 10th, we have the Sun in Cancer, trine Neptune and Pisces. So blessings from your intuition can be strong at this time. Sweet synchronicities are more likely reminding you right now that this chaotic storm that we're in with these eclipses really has a very divine plan for you. And you're starting to really feel it. You're feeling the changes for the better. Yeah, and twice a year, the ego-driven sun forms a boundary-stretching trine with imaginative Neptune. And this energy is a very visionary kind of energy. This energy can help you go past what you consider your limits and find a creative solution to a stuck problem, a problem in your life that you felt very stuck in. For those of you dealing with anything in business, you loosen up. And take people into your confidence in a sincere way, because you're really going to benefit from this if you do this. Yes, look, we get the World card. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see what we got for clarifying. 8 of Wands. Beautiful. All right, this is great. Okay, let's talk about this. World card, which is linked to the Empress and is a Saturn and Earth energy. Awesome. This denotes triumph, completion, reward for your efforts. And, for this reason, this is one of the most welcome cards in any reading, all right? It's because it's about deep joy, happiness, deserved success, all good stuff. Projects that you've been trying to push forward start to at least show signs of being successful as your commitment and dedication begin to really pay off. Life all around just is going to be in a space of starting to feel more balanced. Work, relationships, finances, things at home begin to run more smoothly. A phase in your life is coming to an end in a positive way. So if you've been waiting for a decision or an opportunity to manifest, it's happening, man. Look at this 8 of Wands. It's going to happen. It's going to happen quickly. Okay? Yeah. This is just great. And I'm also sensing very much like a group consciousness here. So I feel like, well, a lot of you, I'm sure, are having birthdays, right? Because this does indicate birthdays, anniversaries, parties, this group consciousness. Yeah, for sure. And in career, you're achieving your goals. A new position at work or some sort of promotion, giving you a rise in status, giving you more authority, just great stuff. Your relationships will feel deeper and more loving in this energy, and it's all happening quickly. We have this 8 of Wands, another very positive energy. This brings very fast movement, lots of communication, lots of will, right? Because Wands of will again. So if you've been feeling held back or stuck, waiting for a decision, you're soon going to have positive news, and your projects and anything that you were really pushing for them to grow are suddenly going to grow wings and move swiftly forward. In relationships, this energy can bring great news about love, especially if you've been separated from a partner recently and you were waiting, or maybe some of you waiting to hear from a potential partner, maybe somebody who you recently met. This is about beginning the process of really establishing a brand new, firm foundation. Lots of quick movement. But with this 8 of Wands, we like to say that it's going down towards the earth and it's going to really be very solid in the ground, and it's a balanced number, the 8. So that's beautiful. Awesome, awesome stuff. And then we have on July 11th, we have Mars in Leo, square Uranus in Taurus, and Mars in Leo, trine Chiron in Aries. So with manifestor Mars in this part of your chart, you're going to be able to get a lot done. Yet at the same time, work or money stress could end up getting in your way. That could be a little snafu that you're going to have to deal with, because these are very hard-headed planets that are at odds, and you're going to have to work extra hard in this energy not to lose your temper, Cancer. You don't want to lose your temper, so you got temperance. Awesome. Let's see what we have for clarification. Okay. No, not a surprise. 5 of Swords energy. Okay. So let's talk about these. Okay, so because I see you trying to temper this 5 of Swords energy with this temperance energy, because temperance is all about dealing with a potentially volatile situation, and you need to temper your thoughts and actions to find balance and harmony. This is all about not choosing one side or another, but blending opposing ideas, opposing forces, opposing anything to create a solid solution to something. This energy asks for you to not resist, but to accept both sides of a situation and just be guided by what feels most natural to you. It's a time to reconcile any area of your life that you feel has been out of balance. You're going to feel very connected to your guides in this energy as well, and your angels and those who love you, who have crossed over. Yeah, absolutely. And those of you in long-term relationships, that you're going to be really elevating into a new stage of trust, Really beautiful. And for those of you who are single, you may be guided toward a new partner. But this is a very emotionally intense time, for sure. Now, some of you may be dealing with somebody who's very difficult or very sensitive. This could be in your career. And this energy asks for you to be the diplomat and for you to try to smooth things over, because we have this Five of Swords energy. And honestly, this is a Venus and Aries energy. It indicates conflicts. Can be within family, but it really can be within work as well. But this is the kind of conflict that you're not going to win. And the thing is, however disruptive this energy might be, it does allow you to recover quickly and walk away with your self-respect, provided that you handle it with grace and dignity at the time. Don't continue the battle here. It's not worth it. Regardless of the provocation, just deal with your anger and disappointment and use this temperance energy to get through this day, okay? It's really going to help you out a lot. And then on July 14th, we have Sun in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn. A couple of things with this energy. First, under this potentially very transformative once-a-year opposition between the Sun in Cancer and shadowy Pluto in your relationship house, emotions that have been simmering might reach full boiling point. So for those of you, and you know who you are, if you've been holding in strong feelings because you're afraid of hurting someone or of the consequences, look what's happening as a result of not saying anything. So wouldn't a resolution one way or another be better than not knowing, right? And also, your ability to put others' needs first is very admirable. You know, it is. But resentment's going to build. And as a result, you know, you can end up in a very fiery face-off here, where you find yourself kind of elevating in this plume of anger. And you need to ask yourself, is this you standing up for yourself, or is this you starting your own version of a power struggle, you know? Just something to think about. Okay, let's see. We have the Seven of Cups and the Emperor. Okay, all right, Cancer, listen. So the Seven of Cups is all about choices. And I never really feel there is a real negative connotation to this pretty much ever, just because these 5 cards are all very positive. This is about reaching your utopia, higher consciousness, wisdom, all great things, blessings, right? But we have these 2 cups that just indicate we're just not quite sure. So we might be in this space of indecisiveness, right? Like just like these cups are emotions. These cups are floating in the clouds. We might feel like just not grounded on where we see ourselves going. You know, it might not be completely clear, but then we have the Emperor energy, which I'm feeling is sort of in conflict with this, because the Emperor energy is very masculine, it's very decisive, it's very single-minded, it's very one-track, it's very based in morality, it is very opinionated, it's beautifully dependable. So the Emperor is great in that way, great leadership card, all of that, but if you're in a space of trying to figure out what your next steps could be, and you have somebody with this kind of energy in your life that's basically trying to drive your car, so to speak, this is going to be an area of conflict. Now, if you don't have someone in your life like that, this could be another side of you where, remember before I mentioned the internal conflict? You could be having at odds with yourself, saying, no, well, I should pick this route because this route is safer. This makes more sense for my life and my family and for everybody on the planet, except maybe ultimately for you. Yeah? So this is where, because I feel like maybe I want to think a different way. I want to live a different way. But the Emperor in you is like, no. You have to stay the course. You have to do that. So it's this area of, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And again, kind of like that fork in the road. Stay open. No negative juju. Stay positive, but stay open. And things are going to have a way of opening up for you, you know? Yeah. But you see, these are just, because this is a Venus in Scorpio, so this is like all about I feel, and this is Aries and the death card in numerology. And the death card is just about transformation, and it's about making decisions and changing. So we have this I feel, and then we have this let's go, make a decision. So this can be, again, somebody external from you, or it can be you battling with your internal self. Okay. Now, finally, on July 16th, we have the full moon and lunar eclipse at 24 degrees in Capricorn. So you're going to be feeling, Cancer, this fullness, this completion, this boiling up of energies. With Venus in Cancer opposing Saturn in Capricorn, this year's full moon lunar eclipse in Cap and your partnership house in close proximity to transformative Pluto can bring negotiation to a conclusion, or it's a signal for a turning point in your life in a very big way. So make sure you have all of the facts before making a final decision, before signing anything. Obviously, Mercury is retrograde, not going to be out of shadow anyway until the middle of August. So be very, very careful. But this energy can often bring clashes or overstimulation in the money or love departments, okay? So let's see what cards we get. King of Cups reversed, okay. Yeah, you're feeling a little vulnerable. I feel like that's just that's normal to feel. You're feeling very emotionally vulnerable on this day. And again, I say this day, listen, does energy understand the difference between Monday and Tuesday? No. But we go for general here. But this may apply, if it doesn't apply to you, it applies to an individual in your life where you may feel like you're dealing with somebody who's actually quite volatile in your life right now. So this person may be secretive and ashamed and uncommunicative when they're not blaming other people for their own life, their own predicament. Others of you may be dealing with a person who has destructive behavioral patterns or possible addiction issues also. But the thing is, the weight of this situation is going to be temporary. It just is. Now, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. First of all, the fact that we have two knights bookending this reading and they're both reversed, indicates rivalry. So you're feeling very rivalrous with someone in your life right now. But in reverse anyway, this indicates a stressful situation that's blown out of proportion, as someone really thrives on drama but lacks the courage to take control. Yeah. And this tells me that you may have been let down by someone you thought was very reliable and trustworthy. Someone with a big personality, has a lot to say, very little substance, typically able to talk their way out of anything, denying any involvement. This could be deflection. This will be an uncomfortable energy for you to deal with on this day. So just go in knowing it. Try to stay as low-key as you possibly can. We can't hide from life, guys, right? Things are just wonky right now. They're changing. The change is going to happen. It's all going to end up great. So I say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And no, we can't hide, but if we know what energy is coming up, maybe we could just stay a little more on the down low than we would normally, to just try to navigate the energies a little bit, with a little bit ease if we can at all do that. Yeah, okay, Cancer, that's what I have for you for this 8th through the 16th of July, and I will see you guys next week for the 3rd week of July reading. You guys take care. Bye-bye.